Hello. Good to see everyone. I'm gonna turn off my timer. I'm gonna turn down the music a little more. And I'm gonna close out of PRF, which is where we were looking at our reference photos for where we were in the donut. Totally done with that now. And we're gonna close out of our audio settings. We don't need those. Turn down the playlist even more. It's very loud, which isn't bad. Means we have a lot of control over it. Okay. I'm gonna re-acquaint myself with the seat, as they say. I don't know if anybody said that way ever in history. We all understood what I meant. We are recording. I am unmuted. We're going through the checks. Have I talked about House of Threes yet? I haven't. I'll talk them up again right now. House of Threes is a queer collaborative. They raise money and give it to queer people so that they can live full lives. And it's a good cause if you have anything to spare. Also, if you enjoy the content, please follow. If you have any questions, want to just chat with me, you want to send something in for me to make, you can send it to genderflooding@protonmail.com and I will respond when I can. Okay. Yeah, things are going good with me. I'm still balancing how I want to run the stream. Balancing what am I going to say when I'm on stream? What am I here to do and to say? And it's all an experiment. We're fooling around with it. We're doing different things. We're experimenting. I feel like I've had a lot of very significant days in my life and days so valuable, right? If you're spending your day with me here, that's really something else. I really appreciate your time, and I hope it feels nice to just be around someone who's trying to bring a little peace in the world, kind of inspire a little bit. I've always been inspired by the imagery of the muse, and I like to inspire other people. It's important to me, and I like to encourage people. You know, I chose Blender partially because it's free, right? So I hope that I can inspire some people to maybe try this if they think that Blender is not for them. I've talked about this in the past on this podcast, but Blender is a tough program to learn, but it's trying to meet you halfway. And there's ways to do all sorts of things. You just kind of gotta know exactly what it is you're looking to do. And but it just might take a while to learn. Course, that's anything. So let's go to what may be our box. I'm gonna click materials coming along. We'll see what that looks like. And yeah, here we are. We're doing pretty well on this, and I have some ideas to improve it considerably today. I'm pretty excited. I think I have some good ideas. And I think I'm gonna start just because it's so obvious. Where an improvement can be made is we're gonna start on the metal today. Where we left off last time, which is not published on the YouTube because of my audio issues from the last episode, where we left off is that we had added a cheap metal texture just to have one on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work to make that texture look a little bit more realistic. I have a couple ideas for that. We'll toy around with it. For now, we'll go into layout mode and check out the rendered mode so you can kind of see what we're working with. This is it in the rendered view. Pretty cool already. And so this is what we're making. Hi, yeah, I'm so glad that you're here. I actually saw you, but I didn't want to call you out. It's good to see you. We're making this box today again. Let me switch to OBS so that I can see if it, yeah, hey, look at that. Pretty cool. This is the box we're making. And, this is it. This is it. This is what we've been making on stream. Whoops, I went under, but it's okay. We're working there. We're going for like a photorealistic look. Obviously, we're far from photorealism, but we're working there. You get there in stages. I have some ideas for the logo. I have some ideas for the metal rim. I have some ideas for the wood. And after we fix those three things, I think we'll be in good shape. We might change the nails a little bit. Right now they don't look correct. Feeling really good. Feeling really excited. So let's get into it. My first step for two metal brackets, they are mirrored. All the elements of our box are completely mirrored. So once we do one, everything that's the same will be affected, which is cool. So I'm gonna grab the original one, which I'm not sure which one it is. So we can click box, and if we click bracket, we'll know we have the right one. And what I'm going to do is go into the object properties, or I'm sorry, I'm going to go into the modifier properties. Actually go into edit mode, turn off the camera. I don't need to be on the camera mode. I'm going to go into the edit tab for our brackets, and I'm going to add root or loop cuts to it. And what loop cuts are going to do for our brackets, oh, so that's the real bracket. I was looking at the wrong side. We'll go over here. What this is going to do is spread the texture out a little bit smoother over the whole thing, and it'll look a little more random and like naturally banged up metal. So we're going to click that. We'll click off, and then we'll add like maybe 6 segments just so that it's got a lot of room to work with. We're gonna subdivide it too, so we don't want to add too many polygons. And then on the top, we'll add maybe 3. Give it 4 sections there. That looks pretty good. Tab to go back to object mode. And now we're going to put on the subdivision surface modifier. This piece is Agustin Barrios Mengore, and this is his piece Confession, or I'm sorry, this is La Cathedral, which is a 3-movement music suite, and this is the first movement. Very pretty. So it's a church. That's what we're listening to. It's just a church. Really nice empty place. Okay, so we have the subsurface modifier. We're gonna turn it up. We're gonna put shade smooth, and that didn't change anything with our texture. I thought it might. It didn't, but that's not the end of the world, because we'll go into the shading and we'll toy around with some stuff here. Immediately, I'm seeing that some of our scales are really low numbers, and that's going to be one of the contributing factors to it not being scattered across the whole surface. So we're going to turn some of these scales up, and we'll see if we can get a little bit more of a scattered look. And the noise texture is going to be what we want to do first. It's kind of loud. So let's turn up the noise. And that's not metal-like right now, but we might be able to do something to make it look more metal-like. Yeah, turning the distortion up does help a little bit, but not exactly. That kind of looks cool, but it doesn't look right. I'm just gonna mess with the noise though in a couple different ways and just see what happens. Oh, that's actually kind of neat, and it looks like it could actually end up being sort of metallic looking if we turn it up a very large amount. That's quite a lot of depth though. Do you need to turn the distance down to like very low number? Whoa, this is like kind of a weird texture. I like it, but it's obviously very far from photorealistic. Whoa, that's cool. Cool, but it's not accurate. But I just want to see what these things actually sort of look like contextually. That looks alien. You can't really even see the inset middle. So if you're looking at the box, there's sort of 3 rows here, and the middle one is inset, and we have that on the box pretty well. Pretty satisfied with how that looks, but you can't really tell right now, especially with the texture the way that it is. I think that maybe we could do potentially just a Voronoi texture. See what that looks like in vector, and we'll turn up the scale probably. That's not too bad if we turn it up now. Interesting. Not exactly, but not exactly. But also there's certain elements of it that look kind of correct. The randomness is up very high. We have it ordered. Is that full? Not really. It's really not like it. Like, what if we change some of these things? Well, interesting. There's so many different settings that a lot of the fun of this is just scrolling through and seeing and learning the different drop down menus, but there's so many. Oh wow, this is actually sort of what we need. A little bit. That's actually kind of close to the texture that we need because we just need some line. Now, I think we need to turn the scale down a lot. Not the scale. Randomness? Not randomness. We're really close. We need this to be just like a couple of them, I think. No, it's not this part. I don't even know if we're gonna keep that noise texture or this Voronoi texture. Maybe we'll get rid of the Voronoi, but not the noise. Pop that on there. Just see what that looks like. I don't know if that's exactly right. I don't really like any of the changes that we've made on this metal material. I'm gonna take a look at our texture materials and see what options we have that might be helpful. We definitely don't need a checker or a brick material, that's for sure. I don't know if a mapping material might be able to help in a way, because we might be able to like randomize the noise texture in a different way. I might try that, because there's also like a random node that we could put the noise texture into. And I haven't done this on stream, not following a tutorial. Use the mapping. I don't even know which part the mapping is in. Let's see. Oh, mapping is its own thing. Mapping. And so we would put mapping into noise, I think. We would want to randomize the location of it, which I think that there's just a random that we can search for. Let's see. Random. I don't see one, but maybe vector transform is what I'm looking for. I don't think that's exactly what we're looking for. We can probably get rid of that. Let's see what happens if we limit it to certain vertices here. So we'll do it on just the Y and X or something. And let's just see what that does. Not a lot with rotation. It's probably scale that I'm looking for. See? Okay, see that's a little closer. So we turn up the scale on the y-axis, and then we turn down the scale on the overall node, and I think that might help. Not sure yet. It kind of looks like it's helping. It's very faded now, though. It's like very hard to even see. Oh, and the nails are following the texture of the top one, which hasn't changed yet. That's okay. We'll get to that. It shouldn't take too much longer. Yeah, so this weekend was it was a pretty great weekend. I did kind of a lot of stuff. My friends, a lot of it was like last second. I mean, I live with my friends, so it was just my roommate. I also got like a lot accomplished. I'm feeling really good. I feel like there's kind of a lot of things happening in my life right now, especially just learning how to stream. But it's all good stuff. It's all really nice. And I'm having so much fun doing Blender on stream. I just hope that I can continue to improve and like do a good job of it, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna turn down the detail. Nice. That kind of did what I wanted it to. I'm gonna turn up or down the roughness. I'm not sure. I think up is better in this case, and we'll turn the distortion down. Let's put it to 0 first. Okay, I'm looking at this, and feels like the distortion should be up kind of considerably. Ooh, maybe not that much. Yeah, like something like that. The Voronoi texture down here is just wrong. We need to make that a noise texture as well. So we'll just duplicate this and bring it down and put the mapping into it. And this is going to change the whole texture of every part of the surface. The upper two here are only for the color, and the bottom ones are for the actual texture of it. And right now, the noise texture is coming from mapping, but we don't want that. We want it to just come from the texture coordinates. We're going to undo this. We're doing control and slicing it with the right mouse button, and then we're going to connect our noise texture to object. Cool. Let's see what that does. And this is Clair de Lune, of course. One of my faves. I think it's a lot of people's favorite for good reason. It's very beautiful. And this is just our wood texture we have on the bottom. I was just like, let's just make a floor. I almost want to change that just for fun. Maybe we will soon. But we should probably get this looking more like metal first. I think we can have it a little bit up on X. Let's see. Maybe we should actually have it a lot. What do we have? No Y. What does that look like? Interesting. Doesn't look like metal really, but what if we turn Y up a little? That's kind of getting closer to whatever else we had. But now we can turn the scale up completely. Maybe that'll help. Something else that's happening is that it's a very white metal. We definitely don't want that. It'd be a very dark metal shade. It should have tone. Definitely have tone. And that's kind of looking more like it a little bit. It's definitely still not perfect. That's for sure. I think we can turn the roughness down a little now so that it's a little shinier, and that might help. And I think that did help because it kind of is a shiny metal a little bit. And this doesn't look perfect, but I do think that we're on our way a little bit. I'm wondering just if we put the noise onto 2D, what that would look like. Interesting. So it's just doing it on the y-axis. That's an interesting proposition because we could do that into another noise texture. Let's just see what that looks like. So let's go to noise texture and just drop it right in between these two and just see what happens. Whoa, I think we might have a winner here. That looks kind of like brushed metal, right? Let's turn the scale up. That's pretty good, but we need to like have a little bit more like, I don't know, that's pretty good. Maybe the detail can be down, and I think even the scale can be down a little. Pretty cool. I mean, it's cool even if it's not photorealistic yet. Pretty cool. It's a lot less harsh than it was earlier. It's definitely not good though. I think we what about the subsurface color? I don't think that would make sense for metal. Maybe a little rougher. It's only at 182. Maybe it's a little bit more than. And I think we might be able to turn the noise or the bump up a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. No, I don't think that was the right move. But what about the distance? No, probably not that. We'll put this at 1. We're getting close. Closer at least, for sure. I think maybe it's just too white still. I think maybe we can get rid of this one entirely. Let's press minus this one and bring this much further up. Ooh, I don't know, maybe that was good to have in. Yeah, let's bring it back, but let's push it back up. Maybe this should be a brighter color. That looks okay. It doesn't look right, that's for sure. But we'll fix it. That's what we're here to do, literally. So completely okay. Just looking at everything. We're obviously gonna need to change the woods, especially on the side. That's for sure. I do really like the middle here though. I don't know if it's meeting up in the middle with the wood, is it? That looks like it is, which is perfect. Great. I do really like this bottom though. That's how it looks in real life, like almost exactly. Pretty happy with it. I might switch to working on the logo because I have like a definitive thing that I can do to make it look a lot better. And we've made the metal look a lot better. Let's see how long we've been going because I'm trying to be more cognizant of time. Oh, and also I should change on the overlay. We're not on the opening. We're over halfway through the show at this point, basically. So let's go. Oh, you gotta remember the hotkeys, of course. There's so many. Oh yeah, I have it on here. I have a little hotkey pad that I totally forgot about. We're on personal projects right now. Okay, and so we are making this box, and I think we're gonna work on this logo next. We're gonna save this. Let's see what it looks like rendered, especially with the changes that we've made. We're gonna go to the camera mode, zoom out. Like, that looks kind of interesting. We're not on rendered mode, so this isn't what it'll look like. And it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's almost cel shaded a little bit. Let's press render view. Ooh, that doesn't look good in render view. We got some stuff going on there. I wonder if we apply smooth shading, what that would do. I think we can do it right now if we go into object mode. Let's try that. Fade smooth. No, it didn't do anything. Let's go in here. Cycles, CPU, that's what we want. We're gonna put like 250. And we're gonna put 250 for the other rendering cycle as well. Oh, I love music so much. This is such a pretty piece to just listen to it forever. Okay. And yeah, let's jump into camera mode and let's go ahead and let's press F12 and render it. Let's see what it looks like when it actually renders it. I'm gonna have a drink real quick. Doesn't look right. That's for sure. But that's okay. We're gonna take it step by step, and I'm gonna work on the label. I feel more confident I can fix it right now. And like I'm gonna research these things in between the episodes so that I like have content to like prove for us. And I'm like always thinking about the projects in between sessions. I'm just like thinking, what can I do? And I just get all these ideas. And so I want to make this logo better by doing some polygonal cut around the letters and making the letters on the bottom stand out more. Because I think I can make this logo look really, really nice. And that's what I want to do. I'm going to close out a Blender because we don't even need it. I'll just mention gender blending submissions at protonmail.com if you're enjoying the show and you have any comments, questions, you'd like to submit something for me to make on the show, then you can send it there. I'll let you know when I'm going to do it. So we're going to go to Photopea, close this. We'll go to open and we're going to open box logo. And what we're going to do is straight up delete Kingswood Red Raspberries there. It's not going to be helpful. Or we can turn it off too, because we can use it as like a measurement device at least. And now we're gonna add a new layer and we're gonna add a picture in that I took before these streams. I'm using Blender commands to try and add it. The way that you add a picture in this is you just drag and drop it. So we're gonna go to stream and then tools and then box for stream 1, I believe. Cool. Oh, so we didn't need layer 1. It made its own layer. Better safe than sorry, though. I'll delete the layer I made. We have two things called box for stream. One, I will call it Kingswood. Kingwood. Said it wrong every time. Okay. And we'll scale the whole picture up by doing free transform and edit. I didn't even think about this in the process of deciding that I was gonna restart this picture. We should put this under it. Let's see, we're gonna use this to size it, to darken it a little better. Oops, this should be normal. We're gonna go to free transform and make it a little bit smaller. Ooh, that's pretty good. That looks nice. That looks really good. Okay, we'll turn off our other one. And so we are gonna move it, the whole image, and we're just gonna cut out just wood red raspberries part, just to get started. We're gonna do that with the polygonal lasso tool, which is our favorite tool in Photopea for sure. And we're gonna click right around. Of course, we have to rasterize this. I haven't done Photopea in a minute. We'll go ahead and we'll rasterize that, and then we'll delete. Looks pretty good. Now we'll move it down to the bottom. Oh yeah, we have the rest of the layer. That's okay. Here, let's erase it. Actually pretty easy to erase, because it's on its own layer. We could even put it over here and just erase over this. Nothing would happen. So we'll go to the eraser, and we're gonna turn... Oh, that's not the eraser. This looks like the eraser, which is actually this one. But this one is the spot touch restoring tool, which I feel like you have to be like actually good at photo editing to use that. That's my sense, which I'm okay. I'm getting there. I've definitely gotten a lot better. And I'm on the wrong layer. No, I'm on the right layer. So I'll just make this bigger. And I will go ahead and maybe it needs to be rasterized. Maybe I'm wrong thing. I don't know why it's not here. Let's see. I think we should go back up because I'm probably doing something wrong. So we're gonna go back to this move. It's a cute little home. Pretty cute. I like my room a lot. Which camera am I on? Am I on the right camera? I'm on webcam focus. Of course I was. We're gonna go on main. That's what I was like meaning to be on. We are on personal projects though, which is good. Okay. I'm not too worried about it, but we'll figure it out shortly. um, it is weird. It is weird that it's not edited. Here, let's pull this down, first of all, and put it just sort of in its orientation. And we'll just delete the parts that are necessary. And the other thing that we can do is we can just cut around again and delete the same way. But we'll try erasing one more time. I don't know why it wasn't working. Maybe click this, see that. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working for me today. So we'll use the polygonal lasso select again, because we can. You can do it however you want. To delete this stuff, we'll go around. Here we go. Okay, filter, inverse. Oh, sorry, select inverse. Oh, do we need to rasterize? No. I'm still like sort of learning whether you should actually like bring up conversation with people. If you just want to listen, that's cool too. Because I like lurking, honestly, when I'm like in streams. I like to lurk personally, but like I'm totally here to talk. I hope that your weekend has been good. And this next part's gonna be really relaxing. This is my favorite part of doing this, as I've said before. I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna just delete all the like sort of fat around the letters and stuff so that I have like a really nice clean logo here. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna go around like this and I'm just gonna go right around this circle. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but if it's close, that's really good, of course. And so I think I will go like a little bit around the letters here too. Get a little more detail, as much as I can, just done quick. We'll just go around. This is gonna look really nice. We'll go really detailed. Probably just go straight across here. Doesn't have to be exactly accurate. Okay, we're about halfway. And this is just our first one, of course. We're gonna go all the way around it, and then we're gonna get inside the letters too. Because we're just gonna clean this up really, really nice. And it's gonna look so good. It's gonna look so good when we're done. I'm really excited for it. Because, like, I already think it looks like stellar. And it doesn't look very good right now. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. I love games so much. I'd love to make games. I mean, I'm mostly interested in VR, like simulations stuff, environments. Games are pretty similar to those things. I definitely want to make games, interactive worlds, whether it's like it probably wouldn't be action or anything, just like one of those mellow games, something like Sable. I watched the game Sable. I watched Gab Smolders play Sable recently. I really like Gab's stream. We'll see. I could. Possible for sure. We're gonna go down. We're just cutting out as much as we can of this on our first go. It's not gonna be perfect. Go back up. Go down here. We can do better here. Around this corner. For sure. Cool. We're on the home stretch now. For sure. Bring it right over. Nice. That looks really good. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool in my opinion. These chords are so cool. They're huge though. They're kind of hard to play even on the piano. But they fit on the guitar. I mean, it's not easy on the guitar, but they fit a little better on the guitar because that's what they were written for. On the piano, they're just like not normal piano chords. But they utilize like open strings on the guitar, which is why it makes sense. Hey, cool, look at that. So now we're gonna zoom out just so we can see our effect from afar. And I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna select inverse and delete. We might have to rasterize. We can actually like change our gradient probably, but it might be a little late. I think it's just gonna look better that way though. And we're gonna get rid of all the light green in between it, so the gradient should make a little bit more sense. And I'm back. And I'm really happy with how we just did with that. I'm gonna go ahead and just give myself a little stretch. Thank y'all for joining. I'm really happy to have you here. I really appreciate it. My name's Paige. And yeah. The music you're hearing is mine. I love it. Well, it's mine in that I played it. It's the universe's music, and we can all play it. I've been talking a lot with my roommates about like what I should talk about on stream. Been talking about what we should talk about on stream, and I've gotten a lot of different advice. Gotten a lot of different advice, but they're very smart people. They're very smart people. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But I'm getting different pieces of advice. People have different ideas of what the best things to do are, of course, in every situation. But one of the big things I'm getting from one of my roommates is that I should be more controversial. That's what they're saying. You want to get a following? You gotta be controversial. That's what they're saying. I gotta learn how to be controversial. I'm a pretty sweet person. I'm very nice. I'm not very controversial, but I see what they're saying. I gotta make some hot take. Gotta make some hot take. Normally the only hot takes I take are the hot things I'm taking out of the up. I don't know. Yeah, no, I mean I'm not a very controversial person, but I feel like I have a lot of important things to say. I do. And so I was asking my roommates what they think I should talk about on stream, and I was kind of surprised by some of the answers, and I still don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. We'll see. I mean, we're figuring it out right now. I'm here and I'm just talking about it, you know. And look at this. This is gonna be so nice. We're just gonna go through and just delete these sections, and you're on the wrong layer there, which is okay. We'll click seal, which is the right layer, and we're just trucking along. Okay, we can deselect the things we have. This part is just so relaxing. I could just do this forever. And I'm gonna make 2 more boxes, so I'll get to do the logos for those on stream. And it's like visual and audio ASMR because it's like my voice, but also like you just get to watch this like process of, you know, going through and cutting out geometry and stuff. Kind of ASMR-y, right? I think. Pretty cool. Fun. We'll go across here. Start. Bring it up. We're just gonna go around. I've been thinking a lot about talking about a lot more serious topics on the show too, because I want it to be like entertaining and comforting, which is why I'd like there to be music playing, but it's very quiet right now. Let's turn it up. So anyways, yeah, I've been thinking about talking about more serious things on stream, even though like I'm trying to keep it lighthearted and entertaining because I want to say things with the stream, but I don't know what yet, and I'm not gonna put pressure on myself to do anything serious until I have my feet off the ground, like, you know, actually running it, because I'm still like encountering very simple technical issues, but I'm getting really good at getting over them, and like I feel like I'm starting to get in the groove of things. And I was actually like, I want to start kind of talking a little bit more about like virtual reality. And I want to talk about like sort of the evolution of technology because I am pretty interested in specifically like interfaces between computers and human beings, because right now human beings are basically attached to their cell phones, which are computers already, and like as computers advance, the link is going to become a lot more sort of intimate and subtle, and it's going to open a lot of opportunities, open a lot of doors and potential, but it's also like scary, of course. But I want to talk about those potentialities because I did double major in music and philosophy, and I'd like to talk about philosophy a lot more. And the philosophy of science is really important to me, the philosophy of science and technology. And I've studied a lot of religion, and I do think it's important, and I try not to impose my views on anyone. But my roommate said that I should talk about my religion more, which surprised me. And I don't know how much I'm going to talk about it, but I probably will mention it from time to time, just from like a very analytical standpoint. It's something I could talk about for a very long time, and I think it's pretty entertaining to listen to. But I also don't want to just like harp about that forever. It's not exactly the most entertaining thing. Although it's kind of fun to listen to sometimes. There's sometimes I'll get on a roll and it'll be pretty darn good, but you don't want to do it all the time. It's just not a train you want to get stuck on forever. Because then you're not having fun, and you're just proselytizing. And that's no good. I like to dream big. I like to dream like beautiful dreams and not just get like hung up on. I don't like talk about dreams. I like to just make dreams happen. I like to just make art happen. I don't like to talk about it much. I just like to do it. But I do like talking though too. I have to admit, I like talking. Okay, so we're just gonna go up, and this is going really nice. We're gonna have like a really nicely cut out series of letters here. And I guess I'll just keep going around. If I can do this in double cut, then that'll be ideal. And right now, my everything is cutting out these letters. I think it's gonna look real nice. And I mean, it might not look nice too. That's a distinct possibility, but we're gonna hope for the best and adjust things as we go, naturally, as we go. Really nice, so pretty. Oh, let's turn that down. That's pretty loud, huh? I gotta get like all these recordings equalized or whatever they call it. I went to school for music, but I did not go to school for audio engineering. Maybe you can tell. Or maybe you can't. Maybe I'm just, maybe I got 2 degrees in one. One cool thing that my school did when I was going to school for music was that instead of having a science course, everybody has to take elective courses, you know? Like you're a studio art major, but then you have to take economic, or you're a history major and you have to take like topics of mathematics or whatever it is. Everybody knows that whole story. But at our school, I went to a liberal arts school and we had a pretty nice music program. And one of the coolest things was that our school did have a requirement for science, but they made a whole science class just for the musicians. They made a whole science class that was just an acoustics class. And we just learned like the physics of sound. It was really, really interesting. It was co-taught with one of the music professors and one of the physics professors. And we did like a lot of like acoustic stuff, you know, like setting up rooms for acoustics, measuring acoustics, learning about sound waves, and also learning about the human ear and how it perceives sound. And our final project was that we had to make an instrument out of anything that we wanted. And the instrument that I decided to make was an ocarina, like from Legend of Zelda, of course. Why wouldn't I try and do that? And I made it out of clay. And yo, I made an ocarina. But it was really gross. I basically got through making it. I've never used clay before this. I really wanted to try and I knew it would be hard. But basically, no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to come out of the oven completely right. And it was always very flimsy no matter how I tried to get it, but I did eventually get something that made a D pentatonic scale, which is pretty cool in my opinion. You could play a Legend of Zelda thing, Physics State University, and you covered music. That's so cool. It's a fascinating subject, and I think acoustics is really cool. And I'd really like to get sound dampening pads for the walls in my room. We'll get those in a couple months if the stream's going okay. I had a lot of fun with the Ocarina project, and I got points off because what I was gonna say is that it was so ugly, and like I tried to make it good, and I basically just tried to spray paint it. But you don't want to spray paint something you put your lips on, of course, so that's gross. It was like just kind of a gross mess at the end, but it was still capable of producing a D pentatonic scale, and so I succeeded in that, and I succeeded in the project, and I made a couple other instruments just in case they didn't accept it because it was gross, and those instruments also worked. It had to produce at least a pentatonic scale. Anyways, I ended up getting like a B minus or something because it looked ugly, and I was like, yo, you guys are grading aesthetics too hard because making a functioning instrument is hard. Some kids made ridiculously good instruments though. One person made something out of a real turtle shell, and he told us this like crazy story about his cousin shooting this turtle with a handgun, and then he decided that he was like, hey, can I use this shell for this like acoustics project? His cousin was like, yeah, may his soul live on in art and sound. And it's like, wow, what a weird series of events. But I got to hear this real turtle shell guitar type thing that one person made. Another person made a cello out of like a stump that was in their backyard. They dug up like a whole stump and made a cello out of it. Pretty amazing. Just a bunch of really impressive things and kind of funny ones. One person made a bagpipe that was like out of straws and like plastic bags that was like silly, but it was really funny. I was like rolling on the floor laughing. It was so good. Yeah, this is going really nicely, right? Let's deselect. That looks pretty cool. I think that looks pretty cool. We're gonna go ahead and do the fine cleanup here. It's only take a minute. Yeah, I forgot to play that chord like. Okay, there we go. Whoa, we already listened to this song. Random is really random if it can play songs over again. We're gonna skip. Pretty good. Cool. Now we're gonna go through and just clear out these insides of the letter. And then the next part is an extension of this, basically. We're gonna go around the bottom, but that's okay. This is part of the fun of the show. It's just like chilling through these like weird like ASMR tabs that are just relaxing to watch and go through. And hopefully we'll have a cool finished product in the end of a box that exists in real life. And I'm gonna do this with the other labels too, so we'll get a couple boxes out of it, and I'm gonna make my dresser and then put them on the dresser. I have a lot of plans here. I'm basically gonna make my room in like 3D here is the first main project. Should be pretty fun. I think it's pretty realistic, to be honest. I think I can do it. I actually saw someone do like a very basic guide on doing their room in 3D that was like really not even long, honestly. Oh, I'm probably on the wrong camera again. No, I'm on the right one. Cool. Nice. This show is going pretty good this week. I haven't been talking on mute. I haven't not been recording. It's all pretty solid. Pretty exciting stuff. Of course, my phone did go off there. Did turn off the sound, but I think it's okay. I think everybody's all right with that. And it's 9:22. Oh, why don't we turn off the sound there? Turn this off. Yeah, cool. Let's go around. And I think after I go through orchards here, I'm just gonna take a quick break, and then I will be back to finish up the bottom, and then we can apply it to our box, and we'll call it a night for this. Well, we'll watch a little bit of CG because we're gonna watch Cosmos Laundromat tonight. I decided I wouldn't do a vote every single week because I just feel like watching this one this week, so that's okay. It'll be fun. Okay, so we're going through. I'm so excited to print out music. It's gonna be tomorrow that I print it out, so hopefully I can even have it in the stream for Tuesday. Okay, good. Clear out the middle here. That looks really good, I think. Maybe clean up the edge of this slightly, just slightly clean up the edge. Get rid of just this like little bit of extra green. Let's see what that looks like if we just delete that. Deselect. Well, I think that looks better. I wonder if we can emboss it and make it look a little more interesting too. Let's save. Let's see if it has a separate file just in case. Box logo with ref2, we'll call it. Okay, and let's add an emboss to this and see what that. Whoa, interesting. I mean, it doesn't look realistic. I just wanted to see what that looked like. It looks like interesting. And I kind of want to see what it looks like when it's, I forget what it's called, embossed. That's interesting. Yeah, it doesn't look like that. But it would be cool if it did, though. And I just want to like play around with this and just see what we got here. I just think it'd be fun. Oh, and it looks like I gotta get the end there still. Let's do that right now. And zoom in, go right up here. That's pretty good. And yeah, I'm really happy with the stream so far. I think that I've made some mistakes, some of these earlier ones, but I've learned a lot from them, and I think it's starting to go really well, and I'm excited for future content. I'm just getting more and more excited as time goes on here. Getting a lot of ideas. I've been spending time on other streamers' channels, and they've even come here to hang out, so that's really nice. I think it's gonna be going pretty good. What does a stroke look like that's like the right color? Like a dark red color is what we're like. Almost like this color, but a little less dark. Little less dark than this. No, more red. Maybe. That looks okay. More red, I think. Let's try that. Not really. Not really. We might be able to. No, I don't really like the way the stroke looks. We'll just take it off. Okay, cool. Let's go in Kingswood, Kingwood, Red Raspberry. Save this. And it's already looking a lot better. I think one of the best ways we can approach this art is just go across the whole bottom and delete everything in between the letters. I think that's the best way to start. Go across all the way. That looks pretty good. And go down. We're just gonna try and cut off as big of chunks of the outline. That way it looks as real as possible. And this is where you gotta be precise. There we go. That's really good. And then we'll bring it to the edge of the S and bring it down to the very edge. We'll do a couple other easy spots where you can just sort of spot delete thing like that. Like you can just delete in between these letters pretty easily. That's cool. Nice. Beautiful. Delete this. Oh, delete works just like backspace does in this tool. That's nice to know. I definitely gotta do music streams at some point. That's definitely gotta be on my radar in the future. Gotta do some live music on stream. That would be really, really nice. I feel like I'm a lot better live than when I'm recorded, and I think a lot of musicians are like that because it's like just have more pressure when you're recording. I feel like, you know, it's gonna last forever. a lot of pressure. Really good. We'll bring this up all the way around. Nice. Beautiful. Delete that. And then let's go after some of the other easier spots. Like this right here. Nice. Bring it up, down, over. Beautiful. This is a pretty good one. We're just gonna go through and just get rid of all this junk space. You don't need it. And it also doesn't need to be like perfect either, but it should be better than that. I think I said I was gonna take a break after the last one, but I can just do this like forever. So fun. I think it's pretty good to take regular breaks, personally. I think a lot of people agree with that. I don't think I'm a minority group. I was talking about like being more controversial. Almost there. Then we'll bring it up and let's go up here. This up over. Nice. I'm starting to get really good with this Polygonal select tool. In my Blender earlier today, I was doing like a little bit of stained glass effect. It was kind of neat. I liked how it came out, even though it didn't look exactly like stained glass. I just thought it was neat. I might look at a stained glass tutorial. I'm kind of interested in using it more. Maybe I'll do some stained glass on Tuesday, because that would be a really fun thing. It would be cool to do an environment that has like ruins that have stained glass in them. That's something that I'd be interested in making. Maybe even as a first environment project. Yeah, and so I do feel like this channel has a lot of potential. I feel like it's pretty niche. It's a very niche area. There's not a lot of people doing exactly what I'm doing. Kind of inspired by ContraPoint. I'm inspired by some of my other favorite streamers. I'm inspired by Cat Black. I'm inspired by Blender Guru, of course. I'm inspired by my teachers, all my teachers. I know very little about stained glass in real life. I just know it's pretty. I did know a glass blower though. Cool person. Okay. Yeah, and so we'll be doing this stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7. I'm very committed to it. I'm hoping to make this like one of my #1 life priorities. I'm just so stoked every time I get to sit down and do an episode. I'm just like thinking about the next one in between them. It's like all I talk about to my friends. I'm sure they're tired of hearing about it. They're of course supportive. That's really nice. I mean, I think they're excited about it too in a lot of ways. It's always cool to see a friend doing something cool that's creative. I have so many creative friends that I love seeing their work. There's a place that's near me, and it's like this like 10,000 foot warehouse, and you have to pay a monthly fee to use it. But they have like a jewelry studio and a machine shop, and they have a carpentry shop, and they have an electronic shop. And the whole idea is that you have to supply your own materials, but they give you unlimited tools. You can use all the tools. You can use lathes. They have computers there that have like software that costs tens of thousands of dollars, and you can just sit there and use it, and you can be there 24/7. You can be there overnight. They even have lockers and they have showers, but you can't sleep there. It's one of the only things. You can't sleep there. They offer tours. That's how I know about it. I've gone on tours there. It's pretty cool. And they've apparently had some cool inventions come out of there, but I don't remember what they were. They also do like Burning Man stuff there. Yeah, it's just like that. It's pretty neat. I would definitely like to do it if I had more money. For now, I'm not doing it. There was like a locksmithing area. That was pretty neat. I don't know what my favorite part of the whole place was. I guess I was most interested in the computer lab that they had. Because, I mean, if we take a look at what I'm doing, you kind of need a nice computer. And I was pretty envious of the computers they had there. They look really good. And this was before I had this computer. This was long before I had this computer. I haven't been there in like a year or two. Probably longer. Probably like 3 or 4 years. Realistically, I think I might take a break here just because we have kind of a lot left, but it's going pretty well. I mean, this looks pretty good right now, and that looks pretty darn good. Kind of like that it's on there crooked. This is what we're making. I'll give another close up. And I kind of like that it's on there crooked, but I think it's a little too crooked. We'll take care of that after. But it's coming out pretty well, and